75% amplified damage with maxed marks. This is what we get from the talent unnerve with the exotic assault rifle, the Strega. This is actually a weapon I only recently discovered. I didn't play last season, and I assume that's when it came out. And this weapon hits pretty hard. When we eliminate enemies, we mark all enemies that are nearby within 20 meters, and with each mark, we get 15% amplified damage to that target. So now this can stack up to 5 times. So ideally, you kind of want to go for the weaker people at first, then eventually go for that strongest person. By then, that person should have max stacks, max marks applied to them, and from there, you're applying that 75% amplified damage. Now, to have this weapon hit even harder, I decided to go and pair it with ongoing directive. Ongoing directive gives us hollow point ammo whenever we kill an enemy that is under a status effect. And of course, to do that, we are going to be running gunner to get our Banshee Pulse. The Banshee Pulse applies disorient to our targets, so we're kind of doing that to that first person, the easiest target, the weakest we could find, and then we're killing that target, and then we're getting the hollow point ammo. So now when we get the hollow point ammo, this also amplifies our weapon damage by 20% because it'll apply bleed to the target. And as long as we kill that target that is under the status effect, we'll just keep getting the hollow point ammo and we'll keep holding that amplified damage to targets that are bleeding. And of course, while we're doing that, we're building amplified damage on the marked targets with the Strega. Now, because this weapon had such a low magazine, I didn't really want to dedicate too much to increasing the magazine size. So I decided just focusing on high damage. So with that, I decided to just focus on putting out as much damage as possible without having to necessarily build that damage up. So now, after I kind of had this little setup here, I just focused on building up my crits. So with that, I threw on a Grupo mask. With that, obviously, we get critical hit damage for the brand set bonus. I have double crits rolled on the mask with a critical hit damage mod. And on the backpack, I decided to do a chest cup backpack. With that, we get the 8% critical hit chance on the brand set, double crit on the bag with a critical hit chance mod. Now for the talent, I decided to go with Unstoppable Force because we get 5% weapon damage for 15 seconds after killing an enemy. That stacks up to 5 times, another 25% weapon damage increase at max stacks. Now for the other skill, it's kind of one of those things you can run what you want. I had moments where I was running the smart cover. That damage targets out of cover helps, of course, with that increased weapon handling. And then it had moments where, depending on the enemy type I was facing, I would go the EMP because I would use it against like Warhounds and stuff like that. And of course, if there was enemies nearby, it would affect them a bit too, another status effect. But Smart Cover was definitely a better pick. You can even run the Decoy, that also works. Or even run a shield if you're really trying to run around. I don't have any blue cores on this, as you can see. So it's a straight red core build for my red core damage players out there. I'm sure you'll love this build. Now, then, I don't know if I showed the mod for the chest piece. As you can see, critical hit damage mod. And now we'll go on to our secondary. I usually have on like, the apartment. It's a pretty good, decent weapon. Have on whatever you want. I feel like reloading is pretty fast, so I necessarily don't need to switch to my secondary that often. But now to move on to the stats, as you can see, we are at 58% critical hit chance and a 135% critical hit damage. The reason why I usually just stick to the normal cap is because I'm not too sure how many people are actually playing with the modifier on. But there you have it. That is my Strega build. It's pretty cool. To be quite honest, though, it's definitely not one of the best exotics out there. It's an okay weapon. It's pretty fun to use, but not something I would use pretty often. I don't think I would probably keep this build together for much longer. Not until I just have this on max proficiency. But let me know what you guys think. What are you guys running with this Strega? Are you using Striker? And if you are, I need to know how that works, especially with this low mag. I don't know how annoying it must be needing to reload and kind of taking a little longer to build stacks. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Give a thumbs up if you liked the video. And I'll see you all on the next one.
progress. Take it steady.
Laptop detected. Download complete.
We'll review the data you just downloaded and see what we can make of it. Continue your sweep.
I'm getting a flurry of movement right outside the north entrance.
This must be the last of them. Take them down, Agent.
Taking it. I could do this all day. I'll get to you. Let's take too many hits. Got the guy over there.
Area secure. Good work.
or more show